Hey guys, what's up? Josh here, and this is a review that I've been waiting to do for about a month now. Um, First, I was waiting because I wanted to use the damn thing for a little while, and then I had to postpone a little bit longer because of a shingles outbreak. So check out my last video if you want to see me cry a little bit on camera. I might do it this time too because I'm still not all better. Um, but yeah, this is a review of the 12.9-inch iPad Pro with the M2 chip. This is the 6th generation iPad Pro, and wow, I love this thing so much. I got it in the mail not too long ago. Well, a little over a month ago now, and I can't stop using it. So in this video, I'm going to do sort of my regular drawing while I talk. So enjoy some of these studies in Procreate. So let's get to the meat of this review. I've actually hated on Apple for quite a while, but I got my iPad Pro and now I am reconverted. The iPad Pro is probably the best technology tool that I've ever used as an artist, and I've used a lot of tools, but yes, I did say I was reconverted. Before I get into why I love the iPad Pro so damn much, let me say two things. So first, I'm a lifelong techie. I have a background in computer science. I built many a PC in my day, starting back in the 90s. I've done tech support for the local university and the United States Postal Service. So I love to tinker. I've always been a tinkerer, but I'm also an artist. So I've always loved Apple's mission to think different and empower creatives. But the price tag to empower creatives always seemed a bit ridiculous to me, even as I purchased my one and only MacBook Pro back in around, I think, 2007-ish. And that was a MacBook Pro that wouldn't let me tinker. So I've been an Android and Windows guy for a very, very, very long time. But that brings us really into the art tech field of things. So my first tablet was my trusty Intuos 2, and I also had the privilege of using some of the very early Cintiq models that my local university basically had chained to the desks in the computer lab. I eventually upgraded my trusty drawing tablet to the Intuos Pro, but regular drawing displays were still incredibly expensive at the time. Wacom controlled the market, and they sort of still do. But I waited and waited and waited, and then I bought my first generation Surface Pro, which was awesome for what it was at the time. And then I tried to upgrade to a laptop that was supposed to have an excellent drawing display built in, but that was really a disappointment. But I finally ordered a Galman PD156 Pro, which, all things considered, was a damn good Cintiq knockoff, which, that Cintiq knockoff has served me really well for the past several years. Until I got a row of dead space on it that I couldn't draw on, like the stylus just wouldn't work. It wasn't too much of a dead space, and it didn't completely cripple my ability to draw on it, but it was frustrating. It was frustrating enough to look at my current situation as an artist and ask myself, what the fuck am I doing? It was really time for an upgrade. Now, over the past 2 years or so, my circumstances also changed. I'm being more of a stay-at-home dad, so I needed to take my kids to doctor's appointments, drop them off and pick them up from school, go to the park more regularly, hang out in places that are not my art studio. I needed to spend more time at the house with the kids. So I need portability as an artist now more than ever. My real moment of clarity was whenever I was setting up my laptop with the old drawing tablet. Hold on, I've got it right here. Oh, yeah, with this old Galman PD156 Pro, but I was setting it up with the cables, like the computer's power cable and the giant USB C cable that came with the Galman there. But I was setting up with all of my cables at the kitchen table one day, and all I really wanted to do was sit in the living room with the kids while they played so that I could just draw on the couch. But that was not an option with a giant drawing display, a laptop, and all of the cables that go in between everything. So I looked at the iPad. I looked at it again. Now, this is a device that I've been avoiding since it was released. But the technology has advanced so far that I thought it was probably time to give it another go. And wow, the 6th gen iPad Pro with the M2 chip is the best piece of art technology that I've ever held in my hands. And I say this conservatively as someone who didn't previously like Apple. But the point is, I can produce finished, polished line art for tattoos while I'm sitting on the couch, waiting in the van, sitting at the park, chilling at the doctor's office, and all without a buttload of extra cable. Like, I don't need any cables for this thing unless I'm charging it. Now, I know a good old sketchbook tends to do the trick for many things, but not for producing finished line art for tattoos or polished illustrations for my portfolio. Now, this right here is the game changer. I'm not tied to a desk. I feel sort of like Genie from Aladdin right now, so I'm finally free. This makes it easy to make professional art anywhere. And that, my friends, is the appeal. I can also use it to mirror my laptop whenever I want to draw in Krita, Photoshop, or play in Blender with a stylus. There's a very inexpensive app to do that, so it's not an extra display, but it does mirror that display and give me drawing display capabilities. But beyond that, it just does so much more. So after I got my hands on the Logitech Combo Touch case with a keyboard, it really became my daily driver. So I'm just going to lay it all out so I can stay organized here. I'm hopping around a lot, so I'm just going to say all of the pros. The Apple Pencil Hover and the gestures in Procreate that come along with that hover capability. So it's fast, it's intuitive, and it takes all of the guesswork out of drawing and painting as far as the size of your brush goes. What else? It has a beautiful display that you can see pretty much anywhere. It's super bright when you need it to be. I can actually sit outside and still see to draw on a screen. I mean, I can sit outside. You can't do that with any other drawing device that I've ever had. The battery life is also really amazing. I get about 10 hours of screen time per day on a full charge. That means I don't have to worry about the iPad going dead on me while I have like a reference pulled up to display next to a tattoo that I'm working on. The reading and note-taking experience on this is really, really great. So I love reading PDFs and comics on this. So it's almost like reading a real book with a backlight. And the annotation and highlighting features built into the default PDF viewer on the iPad are absolutely fantastic. Now, if you need a little more power for annotation, just use GoodNotes. GoodNotes saves the day. And of course, the portability. I love sitting on the couch to draw instead of being tethered to a desk or the kitchen table. I'm also more productive on the iPad than I am on my laptop most days. So it's mostly replaced my laptop, except for a few very specific use cases. But why does it make me more productive? It took me a minute to figure it out, but basically it's as snappy and fast as a laptop, except the very limited app environment is actually less distracting. So it's actually easier to stay focused in a single app, or sometimes like with the split screen, without being pulled everywhere by notifications and little icons along the bottom that's like, hey, you could have Chrome open right now. But yeah, that's all of the things that I can think of off of the top of my head that I actually love about the iPad. Now, what do I not like about it? So it's it's taken some time to get used to the feeling of the Apple Pencil on slick glass. I wasn't really a fan for the longest time, but with a good drawing glove, you can actually get used to the experience in a pretty short amount of time. It's not a make or break feeling. The app ecosystem is also more expensive than Android, the Google app counterparts. And there are a few apps that I used really regularly on Android that are missing on the iPad without good alternatives. Now, those are very use case specific, and not many people would be missing these apps, but I do. The file system UI, I don't like that. I like being able to easily organize files, folders, whatever else with drag and drop. Now, this is another one of those specific use cases for my Windows laptop here. So I like the file manager of Windows Explorer. But specifically, I really don't like that I can't browse the files on my iPad like it's a mass storage device, like Android style. Also, accessories for this thing are freaking expensive. The Logitech Combo Touch case was over $200 for this. The Apple Pencil 2nd Gen, I did catch this on sale for like $80, and normally I think it's pushing $140. I might be wrong on the pricing there. And these things were on the lower end of the accessories, the higher priced options out there. Now, the iPad Pro is definitely a luxury device for artists, and the entire ecosystem surrounding that luxury brand makes that even more evident. From apps to gear, you're going to be playing in a very expensive playground. So, is it worth it? For me, it's a resounding yes. Definitely. This is definitely worth it. If it weren't worth it, I wouldn't have dropped some money on it. That being said, I think I bought it at the right time. If I'd bought sooner, I wouldn't have been satisfied. But I bought it at the right time, and I paid what I feel like it's worth for my career. Now, I would like to note, I buy almost everything secondhand. I couldn't find a secondhand Apple Pencil right now. I guess people just break them and throw them away. But the iPad itself was a refurbished iPad. The case, I did buy new. But yeah, I found ways to save on this. But if you're a professional or semi-professional digital artist who wants a tool that will help you make money while being portable, user-friendly, and incredibly versatile, this is a great device. If you're living inside of a Windows ecosystem and you don't need a ton of portability to create professional art, there are much less expensive drawing displays that you can use on a Windows machine that might suit your lifestyle better. It's all about what you need and really how you plan to use it. So for me, the iPad Pro checked all of the boxes. So what am I missing that would make this thing even better? If you're an iPad user, make sure you drop a comment and let me know what I'm missing out on, because I really want to get the most out of this device. But that's all for today, folks. Thanks for watching. Until next time, keep drawing, painting, writing, singing, or dancing your hearts out, and we will talk soon.